Hey guys, I get asked this question all the time. How do I start a beekeeping business, Marnie? Where do I even start? What should I do? I want to become a full time beekeeper and make a living off my bees because I have a passion for them. But where do I start? So I went and did the research for you guys. I went into my computer and I asked ChatGPT to write me a business plan as well as a marketing plan and a growth strategy. What I'm going to do in the next 12 months is I'm going to be following this exact strategy that ChatGPT just wrote out for me, and I'm going to be seeing if I can build a successful beekeeping business from scratch with only 2 hives, and I'm going to be taking you guys along with this process. So this is a great way for you to follow along with me and see whether AI is on the spot with this and whether I can do it. But the best part is you can follow along and get all the tips and tricks as I do it, and how you can take only 2 bee boxes in 12 months into a thriving, successful business. Now the question is this going to succeed? I don't know. My business was built over a much longer period, but I'm going to be taking you guys along, and let's see where we are in the next 12 months. So follow along, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me along on my TikTok to get daily updates of what we are doing in the business and how we are implementing the business plan, the marketing plan, as well as the growth strategy, and what we need to do in the apiary to turn only 2 bee boxes into a successful business that has the potential to generate over $5,000 a month. Can we do it? I don't know. Let's get started. All right, guys. So now we have our business plan. So let's quickly run through the business plan and how we are going to be following along with this business plan. Now, if you're asking yourself, Marnie, why are you doing this? For you guys that don't know me, I am a beekeeper in the beautiful country of South Africa. I started my beekeeping business almost 3 years ago. My dad bought me one single hive. I perfected the art of queen grafting, and I caught a couple of swarms, and with that resources I was able to build myself an apiary with well over 50 hives in less than 2 years. The reason why I'm doing this experiment is because I want a lot more people to understand how to build a beekeeping business. Because when I started my beekeeping business, I found that a lot of the stuff on the internet and on YouTube and all the free stuff didn't really break down how to build a business. I'm as well a serial entrepreneur, and I'm also an award-winning entrepreneur as well as a serial entrepreneur. I have started many different businesses. Some worked, some did not work. Some of them are sold off, and currently the business that I'm looking to take full-time and be in forever is my beekeeping business, because it is such a huge passion. And I want to formalize this and show you guys how you can build a beekeeping business in 12 months by simply starting with 2 hives and using the resources around you. I'm going to take you guys through this business plan, and I'm going to be showing you day by day and week by week how I implement this. So my strategy for this is, on a daily basis, I'm going to give you guys updates on Instagram and TikTok, and then on YouTube Shorts, and then twice a week, I'm going to give you guys a video of what I was able to do on my YouTube channel and how I implemented it. So I'm going to take you guys by the hand and show you how to put a beekeeping business together and how you can potentially succeed. Now, let's have a look at the business plan that ChatGPT wrote. So this was Claude. He wrote this for us. He's an AI generating system, and I asked him through a prompt to give me a really good business plan for beekeeping. I told him what are the resources that I have, and I asked him to create and generate a business for me that I can implement. I also asked him to then break it down for me on a month-to-month, week-to-week, and day-to-day basis. And then I also asked him to create a marketing plan for me. How do I get my products into customers' hands? And we are now going to be moving through this. So this is for an artisan bee product and services business. So first step would be the initial assessment. So
Let's look at the current resources. Just as I said, guys, I have 2 established colonies. I have some skills in queen grafting, and it's my personal passion and expertise. Those 3 things are important. They are important, and I want to show you guys that with just 2 beehives, you're able to create a massive business in 12 months. Let's look at the potential revenue streams. This is very important whenever you are looking to start a business. You need to know where are you going to be making your money, because it's very important for you to put as much of your energy and effort into the revenue sources that are going to produce for you the best results. So let's look at what he says is our potential revenue source. Obviously, honey production. Now, the estimated first year honey production is 60 to 100 pounds. In South Africa, we have an average of between 8 to 10 kilograms per super. So that means we've got 2 established colonies. So I would say that in your first year, you should be able to generate about 15 to 20 kilograms of honey from your 2 hives. That is the estimated first year honey production. Pricing, so this is obviously for an American or overseas based business, but we normally range between 100 to 130 Rand for a 500 gram bottle. So let's change this here. I don't think 60 to 100 pounds. Let's see. I think in brackets, I will just put there, let's look at making about 20 kilograms of honey in our first year. And then looking at the price here, the average retail price for a 500 grams is roughly about, I would say, 100 Rand. If you're going to be competing there, I would say 100 Rand. I retail my honey at about 130 Rand, but it's entirely up to you. If you just want to get your stock out, 100 Rand is a great price for it. So let's look at the estimated revenue then. So that means we will have, out of the 20 kilograms that we will get 40 bottles. So it will be 40 without damages. You need to always take into, so we're going to have about 35 bottles. So let's say we're going to have about 35 bottles, and each one is going to be 100 Rand. So that will be multiplied by 100 Rand, and that will equals to about 3,500 Rand. So not so big on the annual revenue for our honey, but it's our first year. Let's see how it goes. If we are able to split some of our colonies or expand or get free colonies, obviously this is going to increase. Now let's look at our queen bee sales. So obviously with your queen grafting, knowing how to do queen grafting, your quality queen bees. So queen bees retail in South Africa anything between 300 to all the way up to about I'm at 550 Rand per queen. So that's our average price here. So if our potential to produce 20 to 30 queens per year, I would say that's a little bit low, but let's go with his statistics. That means, let's say we do 30 queens. So we're able to do 30 queens, and we are putting it and around, let's say you are retailing your queens for about 400 Rand a queen. So that's the average. So let's look at the potential revenue then. Obviously that is what? That will be 12,000 Rand. So here we are already identifying a really good revenue source. But remember, this is for annual, right? Now let's look at our colonies. So we have our small starter colonies for new beekeepers. Now, they normally retail for about $150 to $250. In South Africa, I have seen they range anything from 1,000, no, I think about 800 Rand, all the way up to about, I've seen, well, small ones, up to about 2,000 Rand. So it depends on where they're selling. So let's say we have the potential to create 4 to 6 nukes. So let's say we do really well and we do create 6 nukes with our queen rearing and our movement. So that means we will have 6 nukes. All right, and that gives us a potential revenue of 6 multiplied by, let's say we are selling ours at 1,000 Rand a nuke. Just to keep the figures round, that means that is an additional 6,000 Rand for us for that. Okay, so that means from our honey and our queen bees and our nukes, we should be able to make 12, that's 18, 19, 20, 21. So we should be making about 20 something thousand, let's say about 22,000 Rand a year, which is not too grand. But I think for a first year production level, you don't have so much overhead and you don't have so much extra stuff, which I don't think is too bad. So obviously you can also do beeswax products, pollination services. You need a lot of hives. So I would not really touch this in at least in the first 3 years. So I would say it will be for my third year idea. Okay, and then obviously beekeeping workshop and some trainings. So I'm sure you can also help some other beekeepers out there, which I think is a great idea. All right, so let's so from a revenue perspective, this is obviously, and then looking at another additional revenue source is obviously something that is really big in South Africa is our propolis tincture. That's something that really sells well, and you're going to be retailing that at about what do we say? And I think some of the tinctures are going for about 150 Rand a tincture, and if you can potentially make 20, let's say 30 bottles, you are looking at a revenue of 4,500 that I should be able to generate just out of my propolis tincture, and that's being byproduct that I can make there. Another thing as well, but you need to have some strong colonies for that, is the honeycomb honey. That's also a nice product that you can sell. That's a bit more expensive than the others. Normally those retail for about 200 Rand. And let's say you do have one of those frames. Normally there's about 30 of those frames in there. So let's say the bees takes them all out there. Then you got 200 times 30, 6,000 Rand additional revenue that you can. But obviously, if you are doing the honeycomb, you must understand that you are sacrificing on the honey production. So you're going to have a lot less honey bottles, but I mean, this is a higher price tag to sell, and there's a huge demand for this all the time. So I would always say that this is a really great additional service. So this is a couple of changes I'm going to be making. Okay, let's look at our marketing strategy. I actually want to take this a little bit down so that when you guys download it, you've got a better idea. So for you guys that want to download this and follow along, you're more than welcome. I'm going to be putting this into like a breakdown where we get to share what we're going to do every single day, every single week, and how we're going to build it. I'm going to take you guys along when we do deals, when we set up new apiaries. So I'm going to show you guys everything that you need to create a successful beekeeping business. My goal in the next 5 to 10 years is to get to close to 50,000 hives. The only way I'm going to do that is if I get some more business partners that does build some beekeeping businesses that I can work with. So that's why I'm doing this series, to help you guys to set up a profitable beekeeping business. So obviously on a marketing strategy, always online presence, very important. Website, I'm going to give you guys my lowdown of websites. So I am at Wix. It's at 550 Rand a month for that. So that is, that's for the whole setup. Let's see, plus also, for all the articles. So it's a comprehensive, like a whole business setup. Don't worry, I'm going to be doing a video on how you can quickly create a website in Wix. Obviously, Instagram and Facebook, very, very important. Please make sure to have a business profile. Please have a business profile. Okay, obviously sharing educational content, very important, and then high quality images. So what you can do here is, most of our phones are strong enough to take a lot of pictures. I do all my YouTube videos, everything I do with my phone. My phone is strong enough for that. And if you do have a GoPro, that's also a great benefit, but you don't have to go out and buy these things. If you can borrow from someone, that would also be great. I just have like this. This is my little GoPro I got from my mom, which is a GoPro 3. And you know what? The footage is great. And you're going to also need Canva. which there is a free version for that. You don't have to pay. And then you're also going to need CapCut, which is going to be a great opportunity for you to and this is also free, so you don't need to pay. Okay, local markets. This one is very, very important. A lot of people skip this section, and I feel that you are doing a huge disservice if you don't do your local markets. You don't have to go crazy, guys. I'll show you guys my setup. I take my smoker, my hive tools, I take all the things that I use in my beekeeping business, and I decorate my table with that. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to do all these high-end stuff. There's some really nice stuff on Canva. You can print some of those pictures out, put them in frames, and put them on your table. My table is easy. I want it to look as raw and natural as it can. But farmers market, have at least one market per month. Just one market per month. And don't jump around from market to market to market. Get dedicated markets that you're going to be visiting every single month so that you can create brand awareness, so that people know that they're coming to this market specifically for you. Great, but stick to specific markets. Don't jump around. Find a market. Maybe the first couple of times you're not going to sell out everything. Maybe it's going to be a bit of a loss, but at the end of the day, it's just for you to create brand awareness and for people to know that you exist. Local healthy food stores. This is a bit of a challenging one, especially in our honey market. A lot of the shops that we did go and visit, so this is just some extra stuff, is they're looking for honeycomb, because honeycomb is very rare, like seriously. So I will not put your honey there. You are going against big businesses there. It's not worth it. Rather sell your honey to your neighbors. You're going to make a lot more money just selling it in your street. If you just go down your street and hand out flyers, you're going to sell a lot more honey than sending it to that. But honeycomb and propolis tincture, this is high-end stuff. People are looking for this all the time. There is a huge demand for this. And another thing that I am busy with is royal jelly production, which I'll show you guys how we're going to set that up. I'm actually busy building that now. And I'm also going to show you then beyond the royal jelly, what's the other one, is bee venom. So these are the revenue. So you need to look at things that are more difficult to do, which large-scale honey farmers will not do. But for you to do it on a smaller scale and perfect it, because if you can perfect queen grafting, royal jelly is the logical next step. Making royal jelly is easy then. But you've got a much higher retail value of this, and there's a much higher request for these items than the others. Community agriculture. Oh yes, this is great. So join up, with community projects. Get a table set up. Talk. Even if you've got a couple of places, you can go talk about your honey. And then local. Okay, so local restaurants, I think, is the best part. But you need to understand that. Keep your branding and you need to keep the prices low. So this is, you're going to move large quantity, but it's going to be at a lower price. So you can retail your honey that way as well if you want. Like local, not gardening. I'm thinking of doing like a showcase with nurseries. Like nurseries in my area, and that has plants, places like that. I don't want to go to like gardening, maybe gardening centers, and just set up some, maybe I can do a couple of talks. When I do a talk, I bring my honey with, I bring my products with, I can retail my bees, I can sell my queens. All right, now let's look. Okay, so this is from a marketing perspective. Now we need to look at our expansion strategy. I want to put this on a separate page because this is something we need to focus on. So at the same time that we are doing the marketing and that, we're also going to be using the expansion strategy. So the expansion strategy is obviously colony multiplication. So here's the thing. If you have 2 colonies, and you are going to be doing some queen grafting, my suggestion to you would be is to keep one colony as a brood factory. So this is very important. So one colony must be a brood factory. A brood factory. And I will be explaining to you guys in more in depth. I'll show you guys what a brood factory looks like. And then the other colony you can use for grafting. I'll explain to you guys how you do this, because this is how I got started. Then aim to increase from 2 to, okay, so our first year's plan is to go from 2 colonies to 4 or 6 colonies. Now, I think we should reasonably be able to get to 6 colonies. I even think that we should be able to get to 8 colonies. So I'm going to shoot for 8 colonies. So I'm going to go for 8 colonies, but our goal, so this is 8 colonies is the best, but we're going to shoot for between 2 to 6. So if we can get 8 colonies in our first year, that would be really phenomenal. And then we're going to reinvest all of our products from our equipment and colonies back into the business. So no money is coming out of our pockets for the beekeeping business. We need to keep the ball rolling. Now let's quickly look at product diversification. So we're going to develop a value-add product. We're going to create gift sets. That's a great one. Offer honey tasting. That's also a very nice one. And develop specialty honey varieties. Okay, that's a real great one. I believe we can look at that. Then our financial projections. So looking at our honey sales, so we're not really on that. So I'm just going to put it, because the reason why I'm keeping the dollars here is because I don't just have South African people that are watching me. I've actually got people all around the world. So let's quickly see. Our first year, we said, from a South African market perspective, 3,500 Rand. So we will do about 3,500 Rand on our honey. Our queen bee sales, we said we are going to be doing about 12,000 Rand. So that's going to be about 12,000 Rand. And then on our nuke sales, we said we are going to be doing, let's see, a 6. So that's 6,000 Rand. Okay, so we also need to look at something. So that is what we said from that. We also need to look at here, because we want to go up 8 colonies. But we also said that we want to sell. We want to sell 6 nukes. So technically, we can't do just 8. 8 colonies is what we want to do. But we need to technically do 8 plus 6. So 8 colonies for us, right? Plus 6 colonies to sell. So keep that in mind. So we need to do a total of 14 colonies in our first year. Don't stress. I'll show you guys how to do it. It's not difficult. It's actually quite easy. Queen rearing is a game changer. All right. So what is our beeswax? Okay. So beeswax products in your first year, I don't know. He says we're going to have beeswax. Let's see. I'm not so sure. I'm going to say no. I'm going to put 0 Rand there. So the estimated total for my first year is going to be what? 6. Well, let's say we do make some tincture. I think we did say we made some tincture, yeah? Yeah. So, here it is. So the honeycomb is about 6,000. So that's about another, what? That's 10,500 Rand. So, okay, no, so let's say 10,500. So 10,500 Rand. So that's going to bring our total for our first year into what? That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21, 31, 32. So we're looking at about 32,000 for our first year in our beekeeping business from 2 boxes. So yeah, I think that's not so bad. I think that's achievable for a business. If you do put in the time and effort, you can market your products. I mean, selling 35 bottles of honey is not difficult. Selling 30 queens a year, that's not difficult. Selling 6 nukes, there's always people looking for it. Your local beekeeping community will definitely need some. But obviously there's some costs involved. So you're going to need additional hive equipment. So yes, we are looking at creating these colonies. So we are going to have to be investing into that. So that means we're going to have to now either buy nukes or we're going to have to make them ourselves. So there's 2 ways. We can either buy it or we can make it. Obviously making it ourselves is the cheaper option. Or you can put more revenue in your pocket. Now, for me to make a nuke, including the frames, cost me about 350 Rand. So let's say we are going to be making, let's see here, we've got 8 plus 6 colonies, that's 14. So that will be, so we're going to have to make 15 boxes, because you always need to keep an extra one, at a cost of 300, let's say 350 Rand. That gives us a total of 3,500 plus my maths. Let's just check here on my calculator. 15 times 350, 5,250. So that is 5,250 Rand. All right, marketing materials, $300 for a whole year. If we are spending advertising, so let's say we are going to be doing some advertising, the cheapest advertising that we can do online, which is Facebook, is gonna be about 50 Rand a day. So times that by 360. So yeah, you see, this is a bit of a difficult one, because you're going to need at least about 15,000 Rand just to advertise online. So let's say you only, there's no way really to get away from this. Online advertising is the best way to do it. So, if you're taking that and you are, so let's say we are advertising at this, $300 for marketing material. I don't know how this thing came with it, but from my own costs, I know I'm spending between 50 to 100 Rand a day. My marketing budget per month is about 5,000 Rand, because I'm advertising on TikTok, I'm advertising on YouTube, and I'm advertising on Facebook. So I'm literally advertising like 100 Rand per day on YouTube. So let's look at that. I'm doing 100 on YouTube. I'm doing 100 on YouTube. I'm doing 50 on TikTok, and I'm doing 55. So I'm spending 205 Rand. So let's say you got to take times that by 7, times that by 52. Yeah, so my marketing budget is about 74,000 Rand. So that's the kind of budget. So, but let's say you are just going to be doing one form of advertising. So you're going to need to put out at least about 8,000 Rand per annum. If you're not going to be posting every single day, advertising on Facebook and stuff it's not just like, you have to do it. It's like you have to do it. There's ways to do it cheaper, but there's no other way to do it. You have to do it. So yeah, I'm going to say about 8,000 Rand. That's very conservative. Maybe you can boost it later on as your sales come in. Packaging and labeling, yep. I mean, from the colony's perspective, from the queen's perspective, at least about, yeah. So let's stick to that amount, which is $200. That's going to be about 4,500 Rand. I'm shooting a video, bye. Okay, like I said here, your monthly cost is 550 Rand. Yeah, it's about 550 Rand. So it's 550 times 12 is 6,600. So you are looking at a total of 6,600 in annual costs. Yes, just for my online store, because I use Wix. And then obviously you need insurance. So insurance is very important. And I agree, it's about 250 Rand a month. So yeah, I think you're going to need about 3,000 rand for that. Now, they're not saying here fuel. They're not saying any of those things. So I'm assuming that this business plan is taking into account that I'm doing it on my own property. I don't have another space. Maybe you have another space. Then there's obviously fuel in that, but let's take it as that. All right, key recommendations. Start small, focus on quality. I agree. Build a strong yeah, absolutely. Continuously educating. Absolutely educate yourself. Reinvest profits. I agree. Maintain excellent bee. Your bees are your number one priority. Network with beekeeping. That's absolutely. Risk mitigation. So maintain multiple income streams. I absolutely agree on this. You cannot build a beekeeping business only on selling honey, or you've got to have multiple streams. It's better to have 5 income streams that are paying you 1,000 rand or 2,000 rand a month than having one that is paying you 10,000 rand a month, but then 1 month nobody buys. Hive backup of queens, that's very important. That's why I said extra that. Diversify bee genetics, very important, guys. I cannot stress this. And then stay informed about that. All right, so let's look at our action steps. So action steps for the next 12 months: develop a professional website, create a social media account, produce. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, okay, so how I'm going to break this down for you. So setting up your website, you are looking at about 4 weeks of work. Because we are saying here, you know nothing. I'm going to take you step by step. It takes some time for you to understand everything. Then, now, on your social media accounts, there's a couple of things. You've got Facebook. You've got Instagram. You've got TikTok. You've got YouTube. And then you've got blog. Blog, very important. This is something that beekeepers miss. A blog is so important, especially for your online store. That is how people find you. And there is a lot of additional revenue sources. For instance, building a TikTok channel. If you get over 10,000 followers, you're going to get paid. If you build above 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on YouTube, you're making money. If you are doing a blog, they can run ads on it. So these are 3 additional. Facebook, I think, also over 10,000 followers. You get paid for people watching it. Same with Instagram. So all of these platforms, you need to see them as additional revenue sources. But these are additional revenue sources that takes 2 to 3 years to build. This is not something that's just going to... This is a long-term game. You need to... TikTok, you can build up credentials very fast. But on YouTube and your blog, it takes time. But once you've built it, it is a lasting business. Right, and that is going to take 7 days a week posting. Unfortunately, that's the reality. Produce an initial. Okay, that's great. That's why I'm going with the online store, because Wix has a great inventory. Amazing inventory system, and you can put it on your phone. So when you go into a market, you can literally, when someone sells a piece of honey, you buy a bottle, you can go into your Wix app and you can say sell. So you can manage all of your inventory in Wix. That's why I'm telling you guys to go through Wix. I know it's expensive, but it's running your entire thing. You can also use, I think, what's the other, Yoko, if you want. That's not bad. You can also use them. Attend. Okay, so that is something we need to book. So that means we need to have at least 24 events for the next 12 months. I think that's achievable. Join your local beekeeping association. Absolutely. That is important. Set up an online sales platform. That's going to go with your Wix setup. So that's also going to take you at least, it's going to take you 4 weeks for setup. And then it's going to take you at least 3 days. 3 days a month to upkeep, to maintain. Let's say maintain. Right, create marketing materials. This is going to take you 4 weeks. 4 weeks, because you need to learn Canva and you need to learn CapCut. Trust me, there's a lot of AI to help you guys. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. And then begin local products. I do this. I have a delivery route once a week, and I have a WhatsApp group. WhatsApp group, app group that I give my specials out to. You guys are more than welcome to copy. Now let's look at our first month of operation. So this is how we're going to break it down, because any plan is amazing, but unless you execute, it's not going to work. So you need to do the business registration. So my tips, okay, so we need to get the business registered. I'll show you guys how to do that tomorrow. Website and online purchase, yes, so that is it. So this is our task. How did I put this? Daily or weekly task. So let's put this on a weekly. So we're going to get, okay, so it's given us 4 main columns that we need to work with. So in our first week, we need to do our business registration. We need to start on our website and online presence. We need to do our colony preparation, and we need to do market research. I don't think that's so hectic, you know. So let's create an action. So this is great, because what we can do is we can turn this into an action list. I'm going to turn this into an action list now. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go here, and we're just going to say insert a table. So we just want a table with like, yes, just insert it like that first, please. So that means our first thing is business registration. So from the business registration, we are going to research local names. There we go. We're going to choose what our business is going to be. Then we are going to register with the local authorities. We're going to obtain all of our tax information on that. And then we are going to open up a separate bank account. This is very important. Do not mix your business and your personal accounts. You'll regret it. I promise you, you're going to regret it. Delete those rows. Okay, so now we have an action list for December. So this is what we're going to get done in December. Now let's have a look at the next one. So this is the first part. Now we are going to insert another table with some items here. Right, let's put this in. So we're going to be purchasing our domain. Very important. Own your online presence. We're going to be selecting a website builder. I will be showing Wix. If you guys want to use another one, by all means. Create our initial website with, okay, so we're going to do that and that. We're going to X that. We're going to put that in there. And then we're going to go and put the other ones. Product catalog. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. Contact information, very important. Where do people get a hold of you? Who are you? Where are you from? And then you're going to take some really nice high quality photos. I'll show you guys how to do that as well. That's not so difficult. Don't need to have someone set up a business email address. Very important. It can be a Gmail, guys, but just separate your personal and business emails. It's very important. And then create your social media accounts. Let's put that in here. And then start posting. So I'm going to be taking you guys through how I do my posts, and you guys can follow along exactly the same. And if you're feeling like, yeah, but Marnie, this is going to get so saturated because all of us are going to be doing this. Guys, there's enough space for all of us. Trust me. There's no such thing as competition. Trust me. There's more than enough to go around for everybody. Not everybody's going to buy from you. Not everybody's going to like you. There's many people that don't like me. And I'm okay with that. Right, so we're going to conduct, our next one is our colony preparation, which is very important. So we are going to be doing hive assessment. So we're going to get our hives on our system. We're going to make sure that our hives are being inspected regularly, because now these are not our pets or just bees anymore. They are now part of our business. So we need to make sure that they are well taken care of and that things are looking good. Right, so here we have now created our, there we go. So now we have our business plan. What did I just do? Okay, there we go. And then the last thing that we need to do for this month is we need to do our market research, which is only 4 items. So guys, this is how you build out a plan. The reason why I know this video is going to be really long and it's going to be very boring and it's going to be so, you're going to look at it like, yeah, money. It's like a lot of, but this is how a business is built. If you are serious about taking your beekeeping to the next level and you want to set up a good business and make money from it, then this is what you need to go through. So there we go. So now we have identified all of the things that we need to do in the first month. Right. So I'm going to be running along and doing the rest of them. Well, I'm going to speed run this for you guys. So you guys don't sit here and look at it. So this is our month 1 production goals, which I think is important in business. You need to have a plan and then you need to execute on the plan. So you can even break this up if you want to put dates to it. But I think just for today's one, I just want to break it up like that to say, okay, let's tick it off. Our brain loves to finish things. So if you are following along, trust me, your brain wants to see you ticking these things off. And the more you tick them off, the more you feel accomplished and the more your brain is going to give you that good, happy feeling, and you're going to be doing a lot more. So then we have a breakdown for month 2, what we're going to be doing, what we're going to do month 3 and 4, what we're going to be doing month 5 and 6, month 7 and 9, and then 10 to 12. And then there is some recommended tools. So let's see here. Okay, so key performance indicators. So this is very important to track is KPIs. You need to track, these are very important metrics. You need to track your honey productions. You need to check your number of queen sold, new colony sales, your website traffic, social media engagement, customer acquisition cost. This is very important, especially when you're doing advertising, and your profit margins. Next things, potential challenges to anticipate. Seasonal bee population fluctuations. You need to keep that in mind. You may have to feed your bees. This is very, very important. Potential disease outbreaks. You need to check that. Hive management. You can do hive management software. Our bees are pretty good with that. I don't have any of that. Okay, pro tips, always prioritize bee health. That's very important. Maintain detailed records. Be transparent with customers. Very important, especially when it comes to the raw honey market. And continuously educate yourself and stay passionate and patient. Guys, this is a patience. It's a 12-month patience. So the reason why I'm starting this challenge now is we are in the last month. I want to set you guys up that by next year this time you have a flourishing beekeeping business that is making money for you, and you can just keep growing at it and building and building and building. Is this business made for 10, 15, 20, 100 employees? Potentially. But if you want to stay just one person doing this, you can do this too, because I'm going to show you how to automate a lot of this. So guys, this is our layout. Okay, here is this is a really great thing that I put in, and I asked ChatGPT to put this, or Claude, which is the same as ChatGPT. I asked him to highlight some free beekeeping courses and stuff. So where are things that I can learn about business, networking, skills that I can obtain for my business, podcasts. So there's a lot of free additional resources here that we are going to work through. So I'm going to work through each one of these and I'm going to rate it and see whether it's good. I hope I'm on this because I have a really good beekeeping course. So if you are looking for a beekeeping course, jump onto my website and go and check out my beekeeping club, because this is all going to be part of my beekeeping club. I'm going to be posting all of my updates on the back end of my beekeeping club. So you are going to get access to all of the things. So if I build something, you get access to it. If I'm doing something in my business or you've got any questions about this, in my beekeeping club, guys, that's where you get the answers first. Yes, I do answer some questions on my social media, but my beekeeping club comes first. So if you want to check that out, it's less than a cup of coffee per day per month. It's like really cheap because I need a lot more people to get into beekeeping. All right, so this is our plan. Let's name our document. So this is our business overview. I want to do building a beekeeping business. Building a beekeeping business plan. So this is our plan. Let's see what we can do in the next 12 months. Who knows, maybe we even achieve this in 6 months, but we don't want to put too much pressure on ourselves. We want to keep this smart and casual and keep pushing. Remember, businesses take years and years and years to build. So be patient with yourself, love yourself, and keep going. Don't get distracted. That can easily happen. Right, so there we have our beekeeping business layout. So we've asked ChatGPT now to create our own business plan. If you want to get a copy of this business plan, I'm going to be doing some more nice stuff to it now. You can download it. I will put the link in the description at the bottom. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. It helps my business. And subscribe to follow along to see what we are doing. Go and join my TikTok. I'm going to be doing some live updates there. I'm going to be taking you guys through some of the stuff we are doing. I'm going to show you guys how we're setting up a brand new apiary. We've just secured 2 more locations for our apiary. And this is a secret, guys. We are setting up our very first big, large-scale queen rearing apiary in Lanseria, which is going to be phenomenal. We are busy building some resources for that. So this is all part of my beekeeping club, and it's all part of the resources that I'm giving to other beekeepers. So please subscribe and go and check out the Beekeeping Club. I also have a online course, a free beekeeping online course to get you started. Check for all of the links in the description box, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I know it was a long, boring one, but business needs to have a plan. Once we have a plan and we know what to do every day, we can execute on it. So I'll see you guys in the next video.